What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel Observe and Proceed. It's a reaction channel, and today I will be reacting to this viral police chase in LA County. I think it ended in Long Beach. You know, all that good stuff. Chase of the week. So let's start from right here. This driver, he apparently stole this truck. It says right here, I just read this article. The truck was stolen from an auto body shop in South LA. Okay, so it was in South LA. It started there. He just ran in to an auto body shop, and then he just went into some guy's car, and the car had a tracker on it because he left his phone in the car, so they ended up tracking him. And yeah, the chopper came and all that. Let's get into it.
They'll let me go. So,
exactly.
Like I said, always really tough for these authorities. But yeah, Whittier Boulevard here, and yeah, a super major street, and I think we might be coming up to a fairly complicated intersection as
it's
well.
It's interesting that he stole
we'll see what
his
the
truck.
suspect does with that.
Like,
but
it's kind of messed
busy
up.
street here, and definitely a busy time. One of the busiest times of the week.
Why would you
Friday.
steal a truck
You're going to
being
have
worked
a
on
lot
now?
of people out here looking forward to the weekend.
From
Not
the
expecting a
aftermath
big flatbed truck to come, hurling
chase,
through a red light.
There's no
so
way
hopefully,
he was
at the
sober.
very least, they'll be able to hear the lights and
He's
sirens or
Look at him
helicopter
driving
overhead
on
and
some
realize
lanes right here, bro.
something is afoot, because this guy is
He's
just
not in his right
muscling
state
his
of
way
mind.
through traffic however he needs to over to a side road here off of Whittier. And you can see as we're coming up to that intersection I was talking about, definitely a congested one. Yeah. So they're going to be taking a turn now off of Whittier and onto Washington. That's where
it's not
Washington
even a fast
Boulevard,
car,
one of the
like,
longest streets,
you
ends
steal
there at Whittier Boulevard,
bro, like,
I believe. And so now we're headed back towards the 605.
Look, the
Pico
tires
Rivera
like not on
still monitoring
properly,
that
bro.
wheel
like,
there in the back. It definitely looks loose, like it could come off at any moment. But so far, it's hanging on.
Definitely wobbling, and of course that's such a concern. What if that were to fly off? Oh,
whoa!
Sideswiping a car right there. Oh.
Yeah. Just romping over the center divider.
Look
at this.
Like,
this is insane. Not even slowing down at all.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
I mean,
absolute insanity with this truck. I mean, 50 miles an hour right up on the divider. That's definitely the scariest thing we've seen so far.
I think we're seeing desperation, Des. This guy obviously knows now he's being pursued, and he is desperate to get away. That was crazy.
This is when
he hit that one car, like you said,
just
drove on the median like it was nothing, and now on the wrong side of the road yet again. Definitely not as congested as it was on the 605 earlier, Des. He got off on Whittier Boulevard, but it was clear for quite a while. But as he heads into traffic, he's getting more desperate.
Oh,
no. Boom, got that black car.
Well, he definitely clipped that vehicle. It's a good thing it wasn't 1 second later, or he would have T-boned and seriously injured someone in that vehicle. That was bad. 75 miles an hour. I would not be surprised if LAPD is just going to say, all right, you know, you win. I would not be surprised at all if they, at the very least, back off,
bro,
because it's just getting so dangerous there. I mean, over the center divider, clipping that vehicle right through a red light. Absolutely ridiculous behavior. Back up here. Just fearless, no fear at all from this suspect. Who's he going to hit next? I mean, this is just hurling down the roadway, almost fishtailed right there. It's just crazy to go up on these dividers and not even slow down. You see LAPD, they still have their helicopter overhead. We're just going to, but, you know, at the very least, I'm sure that the units that we're pursuing had to have gotten stuck in traffic back there, because they're not going to drive on the wrong side. He's going to blast through right again. And, he's about to lose it. You can see that back end beginning to slide out there. This is extremely nerve-wracking here. So now another quick turn right through. Just imagine you're out here just fiddling with your radio or something, and here comes this insane driver, and you're just thinking, what is going on?
Bro. You
there's
always
another
got to pay
LAPD
attention
unit
to
right
the road,
there.
bro.
So
there's
a lot of units posted around, just kind of monitoring this lunatic. But this is a pretty scary one here. We're going underneath the 605, going to cross the San Gabriel River, and we'll be making our way now into Pico Rivera. Now it looks like we're going to go southbound 605. So, you know, I'm not sure if to be relieved or not that the suspect's getting on the freeway. At least we're all going to be going the same direction. But getting onto the southbound 605 now from Washington Boulevard. And this is going to be a pretty congested drive until we squeeze through the 5. And start making our way towards
I mean,
southern
you can see
LA
just
County.
from the on-ramp, it's getting congested, absolutely.
Man.
It's so scary on so many levels. Says this guy obviously is desperate to get away. We saw him, like you said, clip a car, drive right onto the median, almost, T-boning a car at that intersection. He is driving erratically in the wrong direction. And also, you have to think about that tire that can possibly fly off at any moment, injuring a completely innocent driver. So definitely, the police have to weigh the situation here. Is it worth it to keep pursuing him? He's obviously a great risk to the public right now. You see another unit right there. Des, is this LAPD continuing to pursue, or have Sheriff's Department joined in?
You can't allow him to keep putting the public in danger.
It has been LAPD
up
to this point.
There's got to be
I think it's just been
time
them this
when
entire
someone
time.
acts like this,
a lot of times when it's on the freeway, especially getting as far away from the city of Los Angeles as they'll ask CHP to get involved when we're on the freeway. This has been on the freeway a lot, besides that insane kind of detour that we just saw through the Whittier area.
Yeah.
But we haven't heard any talk about CHP having any interest in taking over, and just from my experience, a lot of times when you're talking about a stolen vehicle, CHP, they may not even be that interested in getting involved in this, especially if you have someone driving, really crazy like this. They're just kind of like, well, we did start this pursuit, so you guys have at it. And doing that as much, and it wasn't just
right now. We are on KCAL Channel 9. We continue to cover this pursuit, as Des told us, started in South LA. A stolen truck pursuit that started in
intersections, and here he is now in the carpool lane, Rachel, and it looks like at times he loses a little control, maybe from the back tires. Maybe he's starting to lose some air in one of those tires, but it seems like he's making some good headway here. He's not hitting a lot of traffic, right?
No, Des had noted earlier that pretty much from the beginning that back tire was wobbly, so there's some issue.
I think they're going to be okay, but it was just so close to being a catastrophic crash. So it seems to be content to just hang out on the freeway right now. We've had some pretty high speeds, though, even with that wobbly tire in the back, almost up to 100 miles an hour at times. And this is going to, if they continue here, why? Just there's the muscling right there. Probably clipped. That was very, very close. It looked like he might have made contact with that vehicle. I'm sure, scaring the bejesus out of them. So we're southbound.
Bro, if he hits my car,
I was going to say, this will just end onto
ass,
dump him onto the southbound 405 if they continue at this point, and that'll basically be right on the border of LA and Orange County, down by Seal Beach. If he continues in this lane, and then that will get us down to the 405 and the 22, down by Garden Grove. So, I mean, we've covered quite a bit of distance now. Again, this started with LAPD's, we believe, 77th Division.
Right.
So, or somewhere in the South LA area, and then we made our way through Commerce. We had an extremely dangerous detour through Whittier. Now we're getting down to southern LA County and Long Beach, Lakewood area. So, a lot of distance carpool lane, that can definitely be a trick to avoiding some of the traffic, even though, of course, they're the only one in the vehicle. So here we see, it looks like LAPD is dropping out, and now CHP is taking over. Simon Des letting me know that they did make that request for CHP to get involved, and they actually made that request close to a half hour ago, and now it looks like CHP is going to take this one over. Their helicopter may still stay overhead, LAPD's, certainly for now, because I know we've been talking a lot this week about CHP's new air policy, and they're going to be a lot more careful about launching their aircraft out of Florida suspect or something like that. But this did just begin as a stolen vehicle. Obviously, it has escalated a lot since then with the hit and run, and
you just clipped
nearly
car.
ran into another vehicle there. So now all of a sudden cutting all the way over to the right, like maybe we're going to make a transition to the northbound 405. We'll see here, but we will be coming up to the interchange soon. But you see that CHP crew, because the other option was to the westbound 22, which is going to turn into a surface street here on the east end of Long Beach. And so then we're going to be back into, if they continue here, they're going to be back into a situation where we're going to have cross traffic. And we saw just how insanely dangerous the driver was earlier in Whittier. So as they come right around, just screaming by these cars on the right-hand shoulder, you see LAPD coming back into the shot. So here we go. Going to be heading down by Belmont Shore and, westbound 22 as we get around this sound wall right here. Just hang with us and try to catch back up on this one. Yeah, so there we're going over the San Gabriel River right there. And it's going to get dangerous if he continues this way. I believe it goes towards Belmont Shore. Really nice area with lots of restaurants, lots of people out there walking around. A lot of people very excited for the weekend. There you see CHP.
Right, this happened.
Maybe that unit's going to be taking over. So, we really don't want to see this person going into an area with a lot of pedestrians. And unfortunately, that looks to be where we're headed right now.
Yeah, and if he heads into Belmont Shore, we know the roads there are a little bit more narrow.
That's right.
There are lots of homes that are on top of each other, small little homes there in the Belmont Shore area near the water. And again, that strip
he's losing it again.
He's losing it again, Des.
Wow. He nearly fishtaileded again. When you jerk the wheel like that with a vehicle like this, is obviously not a sports car.
Exactly.
Right.
And back onto the wrong side, just barreling through to avoid that traffic. Now over to the right-hand shoulder. It's just, how many chances can you take? Wow, really just grinding up against the wall right there. Somehow squeezing through next to that box truck.
You hit the right car.
Look, that's a bike lane right there. You just plowed right through that bike lane. There would have been cyclists. We're going up on the center divider again.
Yeah.
Up again. Yeah. Boy, just Oh, God. Oh, my God. All kinds of property damage.
Real life Grand Theft
pushing
Auto,
these vehicles
like I said,
out of the way.
Oh,
How is CHP going to respond to this?
What if they
This
had
is
kids in that car,
one of the
bro?
crazier
Come on,
pursuits
bro.
we've seen in a
Throw
long
this guy
time.
away,
wow.
I don't know if this person is on drugs or what, but how much more can this car take?
There's no excuse.
Everyone's just got to get out of this guy's way. What is this lunatic thinking right now?
I'm wondering the same thing. At what point are they going to put this to a stop? He's getting crazier and more aggressive and just doesn't care.
He hit 5 or 6 cars there in that one intersection and just moments ago.
Here's the shocking part. They didn't win the lottery. They didn't inherit a dime, and they never dealt with shady.
Oh, my goodness. My heart is pounding because I'm afraid somebody innocent is going to get hurt in all this. Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if the authorities are going to, again, is it worth it now? They've got to
say this.
Wonder,
anybody,
there's not any units behind this guy at the moment, so now we're kind of in that situation, I think, too, what I was talking about earlier. Now that we're on surface streets, is CHP even going to be interested in this as we're on the wrong side of the road? I hear other helicopters talking. Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
Right in the middle now. Everyone having to. That's just so terrifying.
What are you doing,
hitting
bro?
another.
No.
I think he must have hit 6 or 7 cars at this point.
You just hit that car
plowing right into that. That Toyota 4Runner. Oh no! What?
This is nuts.
Such great old
man.
vehicles.
Imagine
I really hope that person
the insurances are not
that might have just totaled.
I mean, all these insurance
totaled
companies
several vehicles, untold property damage now at this point, possibly some minor injuries. So here we go. They were getting into the Belmont Shore area.
Yeah, bro. These insurances are all gonna have to pay.
I wish that the tires would just give up. I don't know how this truck is.
If they have that already,
is continuing. That tire, it's still in place, and I think I've lost count. How many cars?
Because of this idiot.
Oh my God. Or this has got to be the end of it. It's stopping. No. At least he didn't go through that Sherwin-Williams paint store. Oh my God.
See, that's a good thing to have rails. When you have rails on the store, this is why, bro. Have them rails. If you don't have rails in front of your store, someone might just, go through that, bro. It's not the first time we've seen that either.
Over. I probably hit a dozen
look at him. He just walks out
and just acting like whatever. Not even a big deal. Look at this. Almost looks like he's proud.
Man, he's on
almost this
crazy,
this just strutting along.
Strutting away.
Almost with a sense of pride.
Not even looking back.
So we're at 7th and Miramar.
He is not from here, bro.
Just unreal. Absolutely unreal.
It's got to be someone from Africa.
We'll stick with the suspect for now. The air traffic is going to try to guide some people in. They have got to get this suspect in handcuffs. Some of the most audacious behavior I've ever seen is we're going to speed ahead here to get around this building. I just cannot believe.
But I was saying, bro, the insurance companies might just raise their prices on uninsured motorists because of this idiot, bro. Man. This guy's a menace, man.
What I have seen, one of the most insane pursuits of all time. And for a suspect to just, first of all, I can't even believe that they're okay. But then to just get out here and act like I'm just out walking around on a gorgeous Friday, like
nothing
almost
happened.
like just like a sense of pride.
Right.
Just absolutely disgusting.
And my fear at this point, he's going to jump into another car or carjack somebody. At this point, what's the point, right? At this level of gameplay here, this is
also the problem when the police aren't right behind, bro. You give guys like this a chance to do something else, bro. You got to follow closely behind. Don't just let them recklessly go through the streets. It's crazy.
It's terrible.
Des, I'm so curious. Are there any ground units you see from above, anywhere close by?
I don't at the moment. We're just kind of trying to get an ID on.
Yeah, police are messing up when they aren't close by.
The helicopter's there. They're definitely trying to guide some units in. I'm sure the tactical flight officers trying to get any law enforcement in that they can. If there's even any, there may not be any more LAPD officers here. They may need to just. Here we go.
Finally, bro.
LAPD now. Now that they're going to get this guy and slam him onto the ground, slam him against that vehicle, get him down on the ground, suplex him right there, almost like a WWF move to get this suspect into custody after that just absolutely audacious pursuit.
What happened to that officer? Look at this officer.
Oh, he heard him.
This officer that's crawling away.
Tackling. He ain't never made a tackle in his life. That's why.
Here, they may need to just. Here we go. This is going to be LAPD now. Now that they're going to get this guy and slam him onto the ground, slam him against that vehicle, get him down on the ground, suplex him right there, almost like a WWF move to get this suspect into custody after that just absolutely audacious pursuit.
What happened to that officer? Look at this officer.
This guy.
This officer that's crawling away, I hope he's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that guy might be on
he might have got elbowed or something in the nose. Yeah, I mean, the suspect resisting. We'll see if we can get this van out of the way and just move to the east slightly. But they've got tasers
I don't
out
care
there.
about
They've got less lethal
stuff. Hold on. I want to see the live stuff, bro.
Finding him and at least having more than 2 officers. How many are down there? It's like almost 10 officers it took to take him down, and he fought. He was aggressive.
Absolutely. Yeah, the one's still hurt there. He's leaning against the car now.
Yeah. So the images on your right-hand side of the screen are just the end of this pursuit. Basically, when he just continued to go, here is where it all basically just.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing, bro. Like they're trying to show us what already happened. We want to
suspect could be totally out of their mind on some kind of substance right now.
I think he is.
I just feel like for the kind of
happening. I mean, clearly there were air units overhead, so it's not like he didn't see them above.
Look at him; they still can't cuff him, huh?
Desmond, are they still trying to get the cuffs on him?
Damn, bro.
They're definitely restraining him. I mean, they might have to put like a spit bag on him or something like that to, or I don't know. If you're dealing with someone who's just acting so savage, if it might be trying to bite the officers or something, I'd really love to know what happened. I think that one officer might have gotten an elbow to the nose or something.
Send his ass away.
Hope he's all right.
Yes,
but they're checking him now for weapons and there are definitely substances out there, like you said, Rachel, that can give people superhuman strength, and we have seen it before, and it seems to kind of go hand in hand with the really kind of insane pursuits like we just saw.
Oh yeah, I see a
right
lighter.
now.
It looks like a big pipe right here. This looks like a big pipe.
Seeing what all is in there. Looks like he has a lot of stuff in his pockets. It looks like they're restraining his legs right there. If they're using like a strap or something to tie his legs, and
5 officers to do all this, Desmond.
At
least 5.
Half a dozen officers for all of this. So we just want to see this suspect kind of going to have to get picked up here to be put in the back of a cruiser, or it may even actually be put in the back of an ambulance at some point.
Man,
we want to go and look at the ending of that
who
scene,
cares
but I'm just
about that?
replaying the ending in my head. I know. At the very least, that truck didn't plow into that paint store.
Yeah.
There was a wall right there, and it stopped the vehicle. We could have as horrific as this was, we could have had serious casualties if there were people inside of that paint store. So but an amazing amount of property damage so many innocent people involved in this. Could have had some, you know, fairly serious injuries there as well. The very end of that, right?
Does and I thank you for minutes earlier showing the side of the crash. I'm wondering if that
the larger truck right there at the intersection, and then this smaller car. Look at the amount of damage there.
Or maybe north.
And it looks like they're putting a neck brace on somebody there, Rachel.
So good. Doesn't look like they need the jaws look like at this point. You see them trying to put a neck brace on the driver. I have no words. This has been from the beginning, Des. You know, it started out pretty slow and steady.
Once you cross
moments we saw erratic driving, erratic behavior.
Yep, that's right.
Then it just escalated from there.
It has to be like a law.
I just can't imagine the people who've been affected by this. Of course, the people who are hurt as a result of this man's behavior.
And they weren't even nearby.
Looks like they're getting a stretcher out for this victim right here.
And thank goodness that fire rescue was nearby. They're tending to this person, this driver's injuries. And just look at the damage to the car. The front passenger side tire is just on its side there. Friday afternoon, rather. It's probably just trying to make their way home. And so many cars that came in contact with this driver. Just, I cannot remember a pursuit as crazy as this one here in Southern California.
Same. Wanted for a stolen work truck out of South Los Angeles. Went all across the Southland, ending here. Des, you know, he traversed a large area, South LA. You said he drove through Commerce, was on the 605, headed to the San Gabriel Valley, circled back around, was on Whittier Boulevard for a while, then got onto the 405.
Yeah, it's just gut-wrenching, but you know, hopefully they're going to be okay. But you know, now at the very least, you know, at the very least, their weekend is ruined, and you can see they are definitely in some pain right here as they're being put on this stretcher, and it just happened so fast. As we'll watch this.
Let's try to get some information, bro. See, he needs life in prison without parole. Agreed, bro. A waste of oxygen. Yep. The cop suffered a concussion. Yep. Seen that. If the judge doesn't give the person a long sentence, the judge is useless. Well, it's California, bro. Like, they need to deport his ass, bro. It's California will be out in a couple days, unfortunately, bro. But actually, we're getting stricter. We're getting stricter. Usual suspects doing what they usually send them to El Salvador. I've been saying this is what I said. This is what I said. So, man, information on reckless driver in Long Beach police pursuit. Because I want to know where he's from, bro. I don't see anything like with information in it. Let's try to update it for the past 24 hours, huh? Our law enforcement today. The suspect was arrested 5 minutes after pursuit ended at 3:45. One officer was injured in the struggle, taken through an ambulance. The owner of the shop that he stole the car from said he dropped off some parts and went inside to get money, but left the truck running in the lot. Never leave the car running, guys. Never do that. Came on the property. He actually went into the auto body shop and got in my car. Wow. But he left his phone in there to track the car. That's how they caught up to him. Charges have not yet been filed, and the suspect's name has not been released. ICE needs to do their job. I am almost certain he is not from here, bro. In a separate incident, a boy was killed and 2 other people were taken into custody in a DUI crash by LAX. Dang, bro. Freaking LA, huh? LA County, man. Always something going on, bro. Always. But, man, stay safe out there. Stay safe. Lock your cars. Don't leave them running. And always just be on the lookout. Especially if you're in LA, man. But anyway, that's the video. Give me a like, subscribe. I'm out.